Welcome to Off the Console, your favorite show that's all about tech news and gaming and everything nerdy. I'm joined today by my friends High Tech Low Life and James from Games Revealed, and we also have Noah from Steam Deck HQ. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome, Noah. Excited to have you here.
Yes, welcome.
Excited to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We have a very full list of news items we're going to talk about today. We're talking about the Steam Machine. The queue is out. People have gotten in line, and the price is over $1,000. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Steam sales in the summer edition. We're also going to talk about a bunch of price hikes in the tech world, because that's what we talk about on this show. Apparently, every week there's a new ridiculous price hike, and also Grand Theft Auto 6 news. Let's get right into it. But before we do, I wanted to say, if you guys enjoy this show, you can head over to YouTube. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can also follow us on the Fediverse. I think it's off. What is it? Off the Console Show at subscribe2.me, right? No. What is it?
It's podcast.subscribe2.me.
That's right. Off the Console Show at podcast.subscribe2.me. We also have a Discord server, and there's a bonus episode that we're talking about some really spicy stuff over on Patreon, if you guys want to check that out. All right, now, with all that out of the way, we're going to start the show off by talking about the things we've been doing or playing this week. Noah, let's start with you.
Sure. So I've been getting right back into Grand Blue Fantasy Relink in anticipation for the expansion coming out. Was it July 8th or July 9th? So I've been grinding my way, leveling up, getting ready for the new characters, the new solo mode that's going to be in there. And that's basically been the majority of what I've been playing. And then maybe some Epic 7 on my phone every now and then.
Nice.
Yeah. High Tech, how about you?
Been playing. I actually got back into Destiny 2 because of news of the game's death. But last week I did some demos, and then Slay the Spire 2 for the most part. And honestly, I've been enjoying my time with various random games. I've been messing around. That's all.
Nice. James.
Well, my journey to moving is almost over. I don't know if I'll ever move again, but I say that every time, and I feel like I move every 3 years. But yeah, no, I'm in my new game cave and all that. I think I'll show like showcase or do some photos for the channel and for you guys sometime soon when it's all set up. But I have dreams. We'll see how they look. It's gonna look like my old handcrafted gifts to my dad or something like that. It's gonna be very bad when I was a kid. You know, when you're a kid and you make all those like really crappy gifts. Yeah, I'm gonna try woodworking, so we'll see.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
I'll try. Now I give myself a lot of pressure. Yeah, so no, I've not been playing any games except for the game of Tetris, which old school, it prepared me to stack stuff in my garage. So yeah, that is
It was like training.
it was very much like training. So yeah, don't mind me, everyone that's listening or watching, if I seem a little dead. It's because I'm moving, but I'll liven it up.
Nice.
This week, we published an article over on the Bryant Review about Android games that you can find outside of the Play Store. And one of them was Breakout 71, which is like a Breakout clone. And it's super fun. It's open source. And that's literally the only game I've played this week. No, actually, I did play Smash Bros. Remix on my Summer Cart 64, which was pretty neat. It's like a flash cart. And I don't know if you guys have played Smash Remix, but it's like a community mod that brings in a bunch of like other characters. I'm blanking on some of the extra ones, but yeah, it's super fun. So that's what
I feel like I've seen it, but I haven't tried it for myself yet.
I haven't either.
It makes Smash 64 feel much closer to Melee, which is my preferred Smash Bros. In fact, they basically have imported a few Melee characters into the 64 engine, which is pretty neat.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, with that out of the way, let's get to our first article. The Steam Machine, $1,000+ and it was supposed to be $750. Now, where does that $750 figure come from, High Tech?
It came from Valve directly.
Neat.
Well, technically they said that the price jump was about the same as the Steam Deck's price jump, and people extrapolated that to be around $750.
Interesting.
All I gotta say is I was the closest to being the correct on the price. So
That is true. That is true.
what's my prize? What's my prize, guys? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I was way off, and a bunch of people called me out for it when the pricing was actually released. When Valve first announced the Steam Machine, I said it was going to be $450 or something like that. And if you round either down or just round by whatever, I was off by 100%. So pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I said 500 as well.
See, at first I was in the 600 to 700 range, just because the economy itself it felt like prices were going up. And that was before RAM and SSD prices skyrocketed. But I think 6 or 7 would have been perfect for this. But oh man,
Yeah.
6, 7.
it ended much higher than
Yeah.
that.
Before we started recording, we were kind of chatting about the pricing as it exists. And Noah, I believe you asked if we got our orders in or pre-orders in.
Yeah.
I actually did not. I did not pre-order the Steam Machine. And the reason is I don't play games on my TV. I have a living room gaming PC. I only ever turn it on to play VR. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Did you get your orders in?
Wait, you turn your TV on to play
So-
VR?
Well, my living room gaming PC, I turn it on to play VR.
Oh.
Because you have more space in the living
Yeah,
room.
I have an Index, and I have a nice big living room where I can play. Yeah.
My Index is in the closet right now. I haven't set it back up, but I am very excited for that Steam.
Yeah, I'm also saving for the Steam Frame, because once that's out, I'm going to be playing the heck out of that.
Oh man, I can't imagine how much it's gonna be.
That's the one
I
I'm.
don't want to think about it. But
Yeah,
I'm hoping it'll be around the same price as the Steam.
that's what I
Machine.
was thinking.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I could see $1,000 for the Steam Frame, and it's still being a good deal. Because the Index for the full suite for the Index was $1,000.
Right.
So
Just to mention that with the frame, it's going to have less RAM total. It's going to have a cheaper CPU GPU combo typically because with mobile. So I don't the expensive parts are. You're going to have to throw in a battery. I'm not saying it's expensive, but you have that's an extra part is battery, and then also the VR tech. And I'm sure they're adding into research and development onto these costs and stuff. So I don't think it's going to be more than 1,200, but
Yeah.
I do kind of want to hear what everyone thinks it's going to be. I'm going to say it's going to be. They like weird numbers. It's going to be 1,129 for the Steam Frame. Is what I want to say.
That's a tempting thing. I want it to be 1049, just like the Steam Machine. So that's what I'm going to say.
You're probably going to be right.
Gonna be a bit of a hot take, but I thought it was gonna be over 1,000 before the Rampocalypse. So I'm gonna say 1,500 minimum.
Interesting.
all right. So I'm gonna go very different than everyone else here, because when James brought up the configuration and the changes that were made for the Steam Frame, and seeing the competition from the Meta Quest, I thought initially it was going to be lower, but I'm going to stick to $999. I think especially if they want to remain competitive with the Quest, I understand it's going to be more expensive than the Quest, but if they want to remain competitive, I think they have to keep it around that price.
Hmm.
I'm still gonna get it no matter what the price is, but I think it'll be $9.99.
So I will say this: I figured Valve would try to get it under four figures, like
Yeah.
for the Steam machine itself. I thought it was gonna be close to. All right, so like $1,000. I mean, we know the prices now, but like I was thinking maybe they would get it to like 99, $9.99. Yeah, just for the optics, just for the optics.
Well, that's why I'm like I'm really weirded out by their marketing team or whoever was deciding like rounding, because there's no way they're making a sizable margin off this. I think like I didn't know what you guys were talking about because I joined a little late before we started, so I think Valve is playing a really stupid game here by pricing it so high. I think they should have taken a slight loss. I think they have such a large margin on their profits that they could easily do that and have good it'd be a good PR move for a while, and they wouldn't lose much because they don't have marketing that they do.
Yeah, but when it comes to hardware in general, Valve doesn't really. I'm gonna say they don't really do well with hardware. Like they are a software first company, and while they probably do have access or like open channels that most other people don't, I don't know if they have that same reputation or that same, I guess, sway that much bigger companies do.
Yeah, but they
So I don't know exactly what their profit margins are for this.
problem for this. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just pricing it all out, and if you buy in larger margins, like if you say, hey, we're going to be buying this much, and then like this, I'm not going to say. I wanted to say art of the deal, but they need to read the book. No,
Well, you're right about the whole bulk payments, but also Valve doesn't buy a lot of hardware in bulk. I mean, the Steam Deck is constantly out, the controller is constantly out, the machine, they have to do this reservation queue. Like,
well,
they don't really stock their hardware with uh, as much as they
to
should.
be fair with some of those, I think they were hoping that the RAM issue was going to subside sooner than later. Most of the like selling out and all that happened within the last 8 months, 6 months, maybe just this year. So them stocking up right now is a completely different story than a year from now. So that's what I'm kind of talking about. But
Well, I made the same kind of argument when the Steam Deck went up in price of like why it was out for so long and then just came back immediately with a $250-$300 price increase. But this is something that they do with almost all of their hardware. I don't remember a time where they had enough hardware all the time to sell.
they so like in the beginning, yes, like with the index and all that, it took me like a month or two to get mine. But there's that after the release, after a few like half a year to a year, then there's plenty of stock, and then but the problem is, and we probably still have plenty of stock. Well, they kind of do have Steam Decks now, right? They're in stock once they price hiked, and that is a way to
Are they still in stock? They sold out when the price hike initially went up.
I thought it stabilized. I could be wrong on that, but
Well,
usually
Let's see if they're in stock right now.
It may have stabilized now, but when the price hike went up and the Steam Decks came back in stock, it also sold out immediately.
Yeah. And even
Yeah.
during like the height of the Steam Deck, like it was usually available in North America, but like they would go out of stock constantly in other regions. So like this is I mean it looks like you can buy it now. The
yeah,
Steam
you
Deck.
can. So because the deal's not as good, right? Right now, like this is a bad deal.
Yeah.
But that's how you stabilize your stock. So if you want to stabilize stock, there's one way is, you only have so much. This is an economics thing. You just hike the price up until you stabilize it to people that really want it will buy it. It's not. It's because we're in a really shitty time right now, right? Like we're in a really shitty time of capitalism, and I'm not going to say I shouldn't say capitalism. It's just our markets are failing us so hard when we can't get enough RAM, and it's going to be. I heard it's going to get so much worse by the end of the year, and usually usually you'd have another company or even have the company that's making it spin off and make more money, but they're just not doing it.
Hmm.
Oh,
It's so bizarre.
We'll be talking about that more towards the end of the episode.
Yeah.
5 years of the Rampocalypse. You guys are ready?
Oh yeah.
No.
So
Dude,
I don't know.
also,
I have my China flag behind me. I'm ready to support China and saving us from the Rampocalypse.
yeah, so I don't.
But
Oh,
I will actually say when I was at Summer Game Fest, I met a few people who are in China. Who one person is in Hong Kong and the other one came from Europe and moved to China. And they had some interesting things to say. I definitely want to go and visit. And being so close, it's not going to be too expensive. So I kind of
right.
why the hell
You moved
not?
to like Indonesia, right? Yeah.
I've been here for like 3 years
oh
now.
wow.
Yeah, Indonesia sounds like
Yeah.
a fun place. I
So
think my parents.
I'm right near China. I know my wife really wants to visit, and with all the stuff we hear about China in the U.S., it's always been something that's a little bit nerve wracking. But talking to them, they answered a lot of my questions, so I feel a bit more confident about visiting. I don't know if I could ever live there, but visiting, why
Oh
not?
yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, so as you know, reservation queues. I'm in the reservation queue. I was probably always going to get one because of the content.
Hmm.
If I wasn't in the reservation queue, I would have enacted my backup plan to build my own, as Valve says. That was always going to be that was going to be the other plan. But you know what they didn't do in Asia? A reservation queue.
No.
Yeah,
It sell out
it
immediately.
did. If you go to, I linked Komodo's website. They're Valve's official partners in Japan, South Korea, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. I believe those are the regions Komodo operates in.
Yeah.
And instead of doing a reservation queue, they just kind of did what they did with the Steam controller the first time around. They just sold it, and it sold out immediately.
Mm.
If that doesn't tell you about demand, I don't know what will.
Well, if you allocate 10 to Asia, then you're just going to sell out.
Yeah.
I just don't
Yeah.
think they have a big inventory. So of course it's going to sell out. And especially with how this works, maybe some scalpers. I don't know how the Asian market works with that, but I'm not shocked it sold out. I think,
I doubt scalpers are a big thing for these products in Asia regions.
yeah, yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens because I think the Steam Machine will be sold out everywhere for the rest of the year is my prediction. So
Yeah.
At
At least,
least.
yeah, yeah. It's I mean, I like it's sold out here. Like the reservation queues, like people are starting to get emails, right? We've got people reporting
Yeah.
like Wario 64 that they got the 512 one, and they're going to send them an email, and apparently orders are going to open on the 29th.
oh, is it the
Yeah, they'll
29th?
start on Monday.
Yeah.
Or they'll start sending out emails on Monday. The one thing I am curious about that I don't have 100% certainty on are there everyone who's in the reservation queue, are they going to get their emails on Monday? Like, is the reservation queue only for the stock that they have in there? Because if it is, then the wait list makes sense. But if it's not, and they don't send everything on Monday, which they have said some wording that makes it feel like they might not send all the reservation queue emails on Monday, then why have a wait list?
Well,
That's the
yeah,
thing
nothing
I'm
indicates
kind of curious about.
nothing indicates that we're all going to get our emails on Monday. I mean,
Hmm.
I mean,
Right.
not
Yeah.
saying that it's not going to happen because there's no guarantee, but there's nothing in Valve's literature that suggests that everyone's going to get it on Monday.
But then my question is, why have a reservation queue and a wait list separately? Why not just have a reservation queue, and why not just have a wait list and
Ah.
have a set amount that's going to be going out in the first batch of
I
production,
think
and
they're
then
figuring it out.
consistently.
I don't know.
I think that's what they're doing. I
One
think they're trying to figure it out. So come Monday, we'll probably know what place we are in line. Because I got into the reservation queue too for the Steam Machine with the controller. But yeah,
Yeah,
so we'll
yeah.
Well, like this screenshot here says you're on the wait list for the Steam Machine 2 terabyte, and it says as we work our way through the reservation queue, some customers may cancel their reservations. If this happens, you may be moved into the reservation queue, and you'll be notified via email that you have a reservation after all. So I think it's probably they have buckets of like Steam machines in their warehouse, and they have a reservation queue that has earmarked one of those machines for that person in the queue. And if that person like declines to accept the order, or to place an order, then someone on the wait list, someone at the front of the wait list gets moved into the reservation queue, which
See, that would make sense, but for the reservation queue email, it says when your Steam machine comes available, we'll send a separate email with the option to purchase. If they have these earmarked already, then they know the amount that's earmarked. And then why couldn't they give a specific date, or why couldn't they say Monday or, next week? Why is it when it becomes available? That's very
yeah,
unclear wording or not specific enough.
Ah,
interesting.
Valve does what Valve does.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's why I think, with that wording, why have two separate, why have a reservation queue and why have a wait list if the reservation queue doesn't guarantee you being, if by this logic, being in the first batch of uh, machines. So you might not, like, people in the reservation queue, from their wording, might not get an email for a little bit. They'll get one before the people waitlisted, but at that point, why not just have one giant queue?
Mm.
I don't know.
Speaking of
That's just my
speaking of the early
speculation.
batch,
I got in.
uh,
I got the 512 gigabyte with a controller.
damn, that's the one I wanted. I signed up for all four of them to hedge my bets.
See, I started off doing it, but then I decided to get rid of the 2 terabyte with controller. The PC gamer in me can barely justify paying $1,000 for this. So,
100%.
like, I know the current market, but I could barely justify it.
It-
So paying 1,400 for this. No, there's oh my
so
So,
here's my hot take on this.
1,300 is way too high as well. And luckily, I got the 1,100, which it's high, but at least it's not 13 or 1,400.
Here,
So I can deal with it.
yeah, my hot take on this is I actually wish the Steam Machine was $1,500, but they jammed a much more powerful GPU into there.
Yeah, but
I'd spend more. My problem
how,
is
how much more?
there's
How
no.
much more will it cost with the more expensive GPU though?
That's what I'm saying.
Like
1,500. Like
I,
for
that's the
me,
thing. I think
bumping it up $500 and just jamming a much more powerful GPU would be much more worth it, because right now you can't upgrade it. It is a very kind of honestly dated piece of tech. It will get its job done, but it's not going to get it. Like we've seen the numbers. It's not great.
yeah.
And so like I'm fine with like a price to value, like not because it's a Steam Machine. It has its other benefits. I'd be fine having a bad value at 1,500 where I know it's going to work for 5 years. This and so I'm really on the fence on getting this or just screw it, just get the frame, because I have a 3090 PC over here. And I'm buying something that's going to be half the performance. I don't know, or even less. I don't know.
I think for me, I'm understand the price and power that they're doing for this. What I don't understand is why didn't they try to go for like the RX 9060 XT? Because just it increase the price by like $100, and then you get like an RDNA 4 GPU. Why not do something like that?
probably because AMD gave them a
Like-
sweetheart deal. Remember this? I mean, remember the Steam machine, the Steam Deck itself was probably a sweetheart deal, and from what I understand, it was based on a Microsoft. It was a Microsoft custom AP that they just didn't ever use.
I think this a sweetheart deal screwed them in the end. Honestly, I think this is really whatever AMD did. they screwed them in a lot of ways. Of it's just there's a lot. It's going to sell well, I think, well enough, but it's not going to be like a mark in history of like the Steam Deck. I think the Steam Deck was a mark in history of even if it was a little underpowered, it was still the first of its kind for being so well optimized and be able to play so many games and good support and everything. The Steam machine, I don't think is going to be the same. It's just not a good deal all around. It would have been better to up the price and put just slightly better hardware in it. It sucks. Now, if they were going to subsidize this, and then okay, if this was going to be $500, cool, and they subsidize. I know they'd be eating a lot, but like $600, they might be eating well, not a lot, but they'd be eating a little bit. But this is crazy.
Here's the thing, though. I think for Valve, it makes sense why they aren't taking a loss and they aren't subsidizing it. I think it makes logical sense. It just kind of sucks.
I don't
Like
from a business side, it doesn't make sense to me.
this, if people are getting the Steam machine, let's say they already have a Steam account. I think 85% of the people who are going to be getting a Steam machine already have a library of Steam games. Is the Steam machine going to push people to buy more games and essentially give Valve more money
Yes.
versus them not buying it and just using the devices they already have?
It will, no matter what, they're going to be like the more devices that they can have that Steam OS on it will drive them to buy more games on Steam. Would it be like a high percentage? I don't
People are
know.
already prioritizing Steam as a whole. I don't see the Steam machine moving the needle further. At least not far enough to justify taking a loss.
It would. Well, here's the thing. It's a lot. It's called a loss leader kind of concept, right? Like it would. They from a profit margin kind of stuff. They could take it easy. They make so much money. Gabe could go without an extra yacht and just have the goodwill of having it priced to have it look good. That's what I'm saying. Like this is a perception thing. Like it sucks, but that's how we work as humans. We work off of perception.
Yes.
And
yeah, but again, their logic for why they're not taking a loss makes sense.
Not from a business side, though. Not from a business side. This does not make sense.
I have to agree with James. I don't think that the way that they have structured the pricing here is designed to actually maximize the sale of the games on the other side,
sure.
right? Like the what Valve I believe what Valve should have done is to have take a huge loss, right? Because they will make it back. You're not going to sell tons of games to PC gamers who look at this price point and say, oh, that seems like a great deal right now, or I could spend the same amount of money on building my own hardware and get more performance out of it, right? I think the idea should have been to take a big loss on it, sell it for $750 or even $800, where that would be perceived as a much better deal to people who aren't already in the Steam ecosystem, right? So many of the people I know who bought
they wouldn't
Steam
be taking a loss at $700, $750. I don't think. I think they have a sizable profit margin on this.
Well,
They-
for now.
I think that one is tougher to quantify.
I mean,
exactly
it's
what their profit
16
margin is.
gigabytes
There's
of
no
RAM,
doubt that the price,
8 gigabytes of VRAM is. I get it's expensive. It's gone up a lot. It's not a lot of RAM though. Like,
Yeah.
no, but DDR5 is pretty expensive, just in general over like DDR4.
well, I get that.
From what I've seen.
I get that, but the other parts of this, unless AMD royally screwed them over, which I wouldn't be shocked these days. Like these companies are pretty hubris on this. Like have a lot of hubris. The parts besides the RAM and everything should only add up to $300-$400 if they did it right. In my opinion of seeing everything. So then you factor in the RAM. The 16 gigabytes, how much is that worth nowadays? Like $200?
I'm not 100% sure, but based on like consumer facing, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's around $200. That's why I'm saying I don't think they would be taking a loss even at $750. I could be wrong. They might say otherwise, but they don't give us the numbers. They're not transparent enough, which they don't have to be.
Yeah.
I really think they could be selling this for $600, and then that's a loss leader, and then it would look really good nowadays. Like that would be a really good
I
perception.
mean, I really think
Here's the thing: would a cheaper Steam machine be a better PR move? For sure. And is 1,000 way too much to bring in people outside of the Steam ecosystem? Probably, yeah. Like I don't know anyone who is a console gamer who would look at the Steam machine and be like, all right, let's switch to that. Like just based on price alone. Like there's no way.
Oh, yeah.
If Valve's goal was to uh, if Valve's goal was to bring in people from outside the Steam ecosystem into it, they failed. There's no way the Steam machine is going to do that. But I don't think that was inherently the goal of the Steam machine. I don't think it was to bring in people, or at least primarily to bring in people from outside.
I don't know what their goal is, but if they're trying to make a
Yeah.
console-like experience, that would be typically to bring in people that wouldn't normally buy or buy Steam stuff. I think it's very weird. The marketing is very weird.
it's confusing.
I think if anything, the Steam machine would probably be appealing to people who bought a Steam Deck,
Yeah.
and that would have brought people in from outside the Steam ecosystem. I mean, in all of their marketing, they talk about how much more powerful it is compared to the Steam Deck. They're trying to make it seem like it would be good for people who already have a Steam Deck.
See, anecdotally,
Yeah.
almost everyone I know who has a Steam Deck were exclusively console gamers, right? Like these are people who had a Switch and maybe a PS5, right? Or even a PS4 and never got a PS5. And this is just like pure anecdote, but like they have all come to me and been like, how do I do this, that, and the other thing? And that's kind of where I'm like, oh, that was like the whole plan is to bring in non-PC gamers into the Steam ecosystem. With this, I mean, the marketing here with the Steam machine doesn't make sense to me. Like, oh, it's more powerful than the Steam Deck, but we're pricing it like double what the Steam Deck was at the introductory price. And I don't know. It just I don't see this appealing to PC gamers, and I don't see it appealing to, because of the price. I don't see it appealing to console gamers. But you know what I do think would appeal to PC gamers is Valve is going to let you build your own Steam machine with SteamOS, and apparently they are working with NVIDIA on this. High Tech, you want to give us the details here?
So, in an article with The Verge, Pierre-Luc Griffay mentioned that they have a team explicitly working for NVIDIA support, and it may not come this year, but it's coming. And we may finally get good NVIDIA support, because, I mean, if you look at the latest Steam charts, NVIDIA still rules PC gaming.
Yeah.
They are still like, and that's why I believe for the longest time, that's why we haven't seen an official quote unquote SteamOS release for the general public, because everyone uses NVIDIA.
Right.
Heck, I have an NVIDIA in my main computer too.
Yeah, I mean, I have NVIDIA in this machine and in my living room gaming PC, and I run Windows on the living room gaming PC, and I switch between Linux and Windows on this one, and NVIDIA supports sucks, just all around.
So,
completely.
Fun fact, I proposed a little exercise in the group chat before this episode, where we try to build our own quote unquote Steam machines. And I don't know if you guys did that, yours or not.
I did not.
I did.
I did.
I'm so sorry. I was.
Well, I
Moving.
guess only the cool people did it.
I agree with that.
I linked the one I did. It's definitely over budget, but you know what? I don't care.
See, I went very under budget.
Very under budget?
I cut some corners, but it's cheaper than the Steam.
You should
machine.
link yours, by the way.
I have to make an account.
No,
So this
you,
one is-
up top. You can link it. There's like a little link to it.
Oh, you're so right. You're so right. I'm so
This
dumb.
is yours, High Tech.
Yes. So unfortunately, this was the cheapest I could go for an AM5 motherboard. I probably made a huge mistake going with DDR5. But
To be fair, it's not that much over though.
I
It's
think
not that
that's why
crazy.
Mine is cheaper. One of the corners I cut was I went to DDR4.
Well, it's also not that much over because this is ATX. This is standard ATX. This is not a mini ITX. I did
did micro ATX.
Yeah, so I picked an
want
HTPC case because Silverstone tends to have the best ones because these kind of look like AV receivers almost. Now you could go even cheaper by buying a broken AV receiver, hollowing it out, and then building a sleeper PC in it. But I'm lazy. I wouldn't have done that.
So a high tech, yeah. I think the biggest problem with this build is that to call it like your build your own Steam machine, it has to be closer to that form factor. Like the whole point is to get it as close to the form factor of the Steam machine as you can, because that's the whole point. Is it's not supposed to take up a lot of real estate. Because if they wanted to, they could build it twice as big and probably increase some of the performance, right? But
Right. So that
yeah.
funny you mentioned that because I also did at one point have a build that was kind of like that too. It used the fractal ridge. Let me go ahead and I can rebuild it to be honest. Let me just remove. But like, anyways, yeah. I did it. It was a few hundred over.
Once again, but the performance you're going to get for and the lifespan is going to be better than the Steam machine. The Steam machine, it's just like the Steam Deck. I think it's just hitting it just enough to where, unless FSR gets better, which it could be, I could be wrong about this. Like, who knows? In a year, FSR could be so good, but it's going to age out within a year or two, depending on how tech goes. But we are hearing some good numbers from Unreal, like the new Unreal Engine, optimizations and stuff like that. So maybe we're going to be hitting this nice stride of optimization to match the RAM apocalypse. So we'll see.
Right. So I just So I actually. So I just redid it, and here's a mini ITX version. I'm gonna link this down here too. Oh, by the way, Noah linked his too. You should check that out while you.
Yeah, I had built one before this, and then I had to re-put it together like 5 minutes before we started recording, which I ended up changing a couple things, but it's a rush job, but I'm still proud of it for the price.
So, so what, like performance wise, what would you think this would compare to with the Steam machine? Because this is where I get kind of
So
weirded
this is a
out.
better, I would say a better processor than the Steam machine.
And the GPU is also
The
not a
CPU.
mobile. 'Cause isn't it a mobile inside the Steam machine?
Yeah,
Uh,
it's around the 7600M if I recall, but
Yeah.
even then, I believe Valve actively limits the amount of voltage it gets to maintain
Yeah.
thermals and acoustics.
Yeah, and that makes sense. So right here, what you built already, and this is aftermarket. These are companies that are making profits off all this stuff. This is why I don't think the Steam machine is priced well at all. I think there's something majorly wrong with what the pricing is with the Steam machine. This right here is under $1,000 and it outcompetes it. Now it's going to be bigger, but if you're controlling
and louder
if you're controlling what's that?
and louder most likely.
Yeah, but all that stuff is when you're building in mat, like to ship a lot, or if you're building your own custom systems and stuff like that, you can
Yeah.
account for that, right?
You could
So
fit. I think you could fit a better cooling system because you're doing micro ATX. It's not the smallest. I think you can build some. I think you can get a tower cooler that cools better and is quieter overall. But that's my only critique. I think you have a pretty solid build right here. Ooh, a ter.
Well,
Ooh, a terabyte.
the reason I kind of stuck with the slightly bigger case is purely because it's cheaper.
Right.
So not only do we have power that's I'm gonna say power comparable, just because RAM is slower and the GPU is around the
no,
same
that
as the
the
Steam
M
machine
man,
for
that the mobile
aspect.
the mobile
I haven't seen the
is going to get
specs, unfortunately.
destroyed by just a regular. I shouldn't say destroyed, like 10-20% faster. Like this is quite a bit faster actually, and at
Now,
least I'd say from raw performance, but.
now, if you really wanted to go crazy with affordability, you could have just gotten one of those motherboards from AliExpress where they solder like a mobile CPU onto a motherboard. One of the Arian ones. I've seen those featured on Craft Computing a lot. He does a lot of those builds. I feel like that wouldn't be a bad. I feel like that wouldn't be a bad route to go.
Yeah.
If you can find like an Arian style one that's got an AMD mobile CPU soldered on. Oh, I sent my revised build with that's ITX.
Yeah.
So this one's a little more expensive. It's actually not. It's actually not much more expensive than the one I had thought. I don't know if this GPU fits in that case. I'm sure it does, but like, yeah. So my GPU has double the VRAM, which probably isn't the same. It's definitely not the same thing, to be honest.
No, but $100 more, or, give or take 150 more, and for this price performance that right here, this destroys the Steam machine, like destroys it. So
And by destroys, how much more like how much better performance on average would you say this is going to get versus the Steam machine?
That's a good question. Only one way to find out.
It's easy to say, it's easy to look at the paper and say, oh yeah, it'll destroy it, but I mean personally for me, I want to see the data to back that up,
okay,
or
well,
like if you have like a general estimate.
James,
That's
do you have spare PC parts?
I kind of maybe in boxes
It might be.
somewhere.
It might be time. Speaking of what, my real plan though for building a Steam machine though wasn't to buy all new parts. Mine was to find a junkyard full of PC parts. I think I've mentioned it a couple of times. The junkyard Steam machine, as you call it. Unfortunately, I don't have any good junkyards around my area with PC parts. Something like what Bringus does. Somehow Bringus found a whole ass gaming PC with a working 1080 Ti in it,
Yeah.
like just thrown away. Then again, though, he does live in like Seattle, so I can see that being something that actually happens there.
Yeah. That would be pretty neat to do that. I still haven't gone to the junkyard place.
Damn it, Gardner! Damn it, Gardner! I need. All right, well, we'll figure it out. All right,
Yeah.
we'll figure that out. But
Speaking of junkyards, Xbox.
oh, hot take.
Oh,
Now that is a segue.
He killed it there, man.
Yeah.
Just like Microsoft killed Xbox.
Right. So
They're in the process of it.
yes, they are actively attempting to kill Xbox. So
Well, I'm on the fence about saying they're dying though, but they are definitely making bad decisions after making very bad statements.
So, Gardner, I'm sure you know what this news article is all about, huh?
oh yeah, this is the price is going up by like $100 at a minimum, right? And 150 on the other
At
side.
maximum. Yeah. So, they didn't do the courtesy of doing the math for us. So I've got the math right here. The Series S 512 gig went from 400 to 500. Series S 1 terabyte from 450 to 600. The Series X digital 1 terabyte went from 600 to 750. The Series X went, the one with the disk drive went from 650 to 800, and they discontinued the 2 terabyte model.
I'm glad they didn't try to just increase the price astronomically for that. Like they saw the 2 terabyte, they're like, there's no
Yeah,
way.
so this came like the day after Asher Sharma said gaming is quote unaffordable.
Yeah.
God damn it!
Now, I when it comes to these price hikes, yeah, the price hikes are terrible. They are really terrible. At least it's not the same price hike as the Steam Deck, but these are not great prices.
No.
Yeah, I mean for
I don't know if I could justify a Series S for $500.
God no.
That's already more than I would like. All of these are more than I would like.
At least with like the
but-
Steam machine, there's games you can play.
Yeah, at least with the Steam machine,
that's
you can
true.
also play Xbox games on it too.
Also true. No, I'm kind of torn on this because I do think Xbox isn't dead yet. I do think that they can find a way back. It's just they are digging a hole constantly.
I mean,
And
the question is,
I don't know. I wouldn't say they're dead, but they definitely keep digging further and further down with every announcement they make and every comment they make. Like right after, because I really liked the Xbox showcase during Summer Game Fest. I thought that they were starting to bring themselves back to being a competitive brand, because that's what they really needed to do. I generally like the openness of releasing their games on multiple different platforms, but in this day and age, I can understand, and I think it actually brought in a good chunk of excitement seeing them start to bring back some exclusives.
Right.
But it's like one thing after another. Right after that great showcase, this happens. And of course, all the, talk about more layoffs coming from Xbox Studios.
Like, here's the real thing that really got me. I think it was a few weeks ago. They had that Xbox showcase. They showed off a brand new game from Ninja Theory. Senua, Hellblade sequel.
Mm-hmm.
And then they announced that they might be taking that company down. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Well, was that something that came from a good source, or is that a rumor? Because I have seen talk about the studios that might be on the chopping block, but it's all been rumors. Nothing that I have seen that would be considered concrete. Because logically, yeah, that makes no sense. Why would you announce a giant new game in a long running series and then the next day say, "Oh, well, we might close the studio"? Like, that makes no sense.
well, I mean, as for Ninja Theory, it's still a rumor, but I believe they already started laying off some people. I think we'll be talking about that in a later topic in this episode.
I think
Yeah, but a lot of companies can lay off people from their studios, but not close the studio.
I think most studios are going to get layoffs, and so that doesn't mean that the studio's going to close. In fact, if there's layoffs now and it's not closed, then that probably means it's going to stick around. Would be my assumption. It'd be weird not to just, unless they have a project that they would want to release. There could be other reasons to have like a skeleton crew, but this is a mixed bag. It's not good. Like Microsoft is just they invested in so much money and they're just royally screwing themselves over by just you invested in it, you invested in the devs, now you're laying off the devs. Yes, you have the IP, but if the IP is shit, like in the sense of if you what you make with it is shit, like you kill the IP, it becomes useless. Like you
Right. Like
it's interesting.
Like, here's my thing with Xbox. The whole Ninja Theory thing. We're supposed to be hearing more about this in July, which is, oh shit, it's next week. We're supposed to be hearing more about more potential layoffs in June, more than what we've seen this week. We'll talk about the studio that's been the biggest impacted one, probably. But yeah, gaming is unaffordable. Xboxes are unaffordable. Steam machines unaffordable. What is affordable?
Not tech.
Not GTA 6 with this lock behind a $20 upgrade.
GTA 6 is $80.
Oh my god, dude.
No, the full game. The full game is $100.
Yes,
from my
yes,
understanding. The actual game. This is what pisses me off the most is that they just. I think they should have just charged $100. They did the whole, and I get why they did it this way, but man.
Do you remember all of the rumors, like way before prices were announced, before everything, that they were talking about like what GTA 6 could be, and they were saying $100? That kind of sounds like, or this kind of sounds like this was their way of making that happen without actually saying it's $100.
But
If they're locking a core part of the experience behind a $20 upgrade, and if the $100 version is considered like the actual, base game, then it feels like they specifically took stuff out to justify pushing the $100 version more.
Yeah, which
sure
really irks me.
So what part of the experience are they locking behind?
Multiple different in-game shops that allow you to customize, I believe, your character, your car, all of that shit.
So you have to pay real money to go to a fake shop and spend fake money?
It would seem that way, yes.
Well, technically, you had to do that without the Ultimate Edition, too.
Yeah.
But it sounds like there's just some that are going to be locked. But that still shouldn't be the case. That feels very off.
I get holding some off where you have like a whole huge campaign to do DLC. I get that. And even that is a little irksome. Because usually, like, if you're splitting the game out, then you're just... It's a little scummy. This is on... Like, they are living the dream of... Not necessarily stealing, but, like, obviously, because you have to buy it. But, like, they're trying to do everything they can to make it feel like you're getting robbed a little bit.
Hey, I have a comparison chart right here. Let me read this out to you. So the Ultimate Edition comes with. Hold on, let me paste it in the chat so that you guys can follow along too. But essentially, you get a 95 Grotti Cheetah, sounds like a car, Hawk and Little Morgan's revolvers, personalized weapon variants, Vice City style, whatever that means, Jason's Safe House vehicles, Gennardo Retro Build, Riot Out Customs Mod Shop, Sarah's Unisex Salon, Shih Tzu Squallow, Stock 305 Clothing Store, 65 Vapid Dominator Buggy, Estudio Electric Fang Tattoos, One-Eyed Willie's Mod Shop, Good Time Gear, PTT Youngins Compound, Classic Car Collection, and you get some pre-order bonuses too, like 55 Vapids. Well, actually, this comes with the standard version too. It comes with a version for the poors. Oh, and if you
What is the Vintage City Vice City pack? That sounds like an extra DLC.
I don't fucking know. If you pre-order from the store, you also get a free month of GTA Plus, which
That will subscribe you, and you have to manually cancel it afterwards.
yes, and I don't even know what it does in the single player because last I recall, GTA Plus was for GTA Online, and they're not, as far as I know, they're not releasing GTA Online just yet. So like, what the fuck?
And
Yeah,
Now, here's
and Mark,
my biggest.
I was going to say, mark
Oh,
my
sorry, go on.
words. If you get the game and then you create a mod to enable this stuff in the light edition, they will sue the shit out of you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, that's why you do
'Cause
it
that's-
anonymous.
I think the thing that irks me the most, the thing that pisses me off the most, is the fact that they list individual shops. That's the thing that's getting me. They actually went out of their way to list individual shops.
Yeah. And they're also like, it looks like there are some cars, right? And then there are different types of
Individual
stores,
cars.
and they're mixing them together in a way that just feels like it's intentionally designed to obscure
yeah.
that stuff. And it just seems so underhanded and criminal, honestly. It's perfectly in line for the setting of the game.
Yeah, it's weird. Like skins, I get like extra edition skins. I can kind of get behind that if it's $5 more. Actually, maybe. But I also I'm just getting tired of the squeezing on everyone.
It's weird how the controversy behind this GTA isn't about going out and like killing prostitutes or whatever. It's about getting fleeced out the ass by Rockstar.
Dude,
yeah,
Well,
like
we know
it used to be
what GTA does now.
What?
Like the controversy from before that was usually, we know what GTA allows us to do.
yeah. That's probably why kids think GTA is cringe now because
Yeah. Well, it used to be that they would lock cosmetic items behind, pre-order bonuses and stuff. But now they're literally locking out cosmetics from and character customization behind pre-order bonuses.
I should mention the physical version of the game that you can buy in stores comes in the code in a box.
I think that's the worst
physical
thing.
disc.
That's the worst part about all this. We haven't, that you had that you just mentioned.
Yes.
You don't get a game.
You don't get a physical copy. I know some people are still unfortunately going to buy it, like Mudahar. We had him on the show a while ago, and I know he's upset about it being not discless, but he's still going to buy it.
I won't buy it.
I mean, were you ever going to buy it though?
I'll go buy like a eBay version of Vice City, like eBay special.
The eBay special. Nice. Real talk though, like Gene Park. We talked about this earlier, like a little before the show, but Gene Park actually tweeted once how high schoolers think he gave a seminar about like game journalism and stuff, and like journalism and video games and stuff, and he noted how kids thought GTA was cringe. High schoolers, mind you. Now I'm sure is it true that GTA is becoming a boomer activity, or is
That's very true.
Oh my god. GTA became a game for the boomers? That's insane.
I'm not ready to be called a boomer.
Yeah, let's not go that far. But I think it's gonna do okay with the youths. But I don't know if it's going to be the same. I don't. They're well. The price alone is kind of locking out a lot of them because it's already hard enough to live when you're in your teens and 20s right now. Like it's really hard. If they wanted to try to capture them, they'd go much lower on the price and get bulk purchase. Or they already do inline
They're
like
gonna make their money back immediately.
they make so much money off online. They don't need any money. That's the thing. They could give us away for free,
They're going to.
but there's just, oh my gosh.
Yeah, they could make it a free-to-play game, legitimately.
They
GTA
wouldn't
Online.
Yeah, I mean, GTA Online makes so much money. Like, I think a year pays for this whole game's budget.
Probably, but
Well, I mean,
I'm not saying that they should give it
I
away for
don't
free,
think, I
of
don't think
course.
price is going to stop it from being like a huge seller.
oh,
It-
yeah,
actually, no, I actually think that they're not going to sell as many. I think they'll sell a lot and maybe they'll equal out in the end. But if they charged, let's say, $50, we are already seen from and I know Indie's a little different. Like, you're going to make more money in the long run if you price it a little less. $100 is kind of hard
You're
to.
right about that in general, but this is GTA.
Yeah, but like you just mentioned, like the youths aren't going to be buying it as much, so it'll be interesting. It'll still get. I think a lot of people will buy it, but I'm curious to see if they would have, and we'll never know if they would have made more money if they would have charged less. Like for me, if they would have just done a flat $60, $50, I probably would have bought it. But
so
now I'm really not interested.
here's my thing with the GTA 6. They've shown off no gameplay, and honestly, GTA's like gameplay feels kind of whack. Even GTA 5, it feels like weirdly slippery.
Would
like
you call
almost.
it cringe?
It just feels
Yeah,
cringe.
no, I think it does.
I could
It
see,
feels very outdated, in my opinion.
I could see
It
GTA
does, yeah.
5 players being considered cringe, but I don't know if I'd like GTA 4 story is actually really good. I think that's my favorite GTA, and
GTA 4 is iconic.
it's like the most iconic GTA. It's like
Yeah.
the first GTA where people actually took the story seriously, whereas all the other ones were just like running around, killing dudes, putting in cheat codes. Who gave a fuck about the story, right? People really didn't care about the story until GTA 4. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's kind of a hot take, but I think it's absolutely true.
The story just
That's
wasn't
my
that good.
preferred attitude. I don't care about the story in GTA.
Same. It's
Yeah, it feels like the older GTAs, it was all about the sandbox, not the...
Yeah, I mean that's why it became so popular because it was an open world. It was the open world for the longest time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, retailers claim that there won't be enough console stock for GTA 6 demand. Do you believe it?
a digital
Well,
game.
They can't like print fake little cards. They can't print enough of them. Is that the problem?
No,
Consoles,
consoles, the consoles that play... that will play GTA.
because it's not on PC, and if you don't have a console at this point, then I mean, okay, but like really though, this is like the tail end of the generation. I feel like anyone that wanted a console at this point would have already gotten one.
Yeah.
And anyone that wanted to play
Yeah.
GTA
I
that
don't
didn't
know.
have a console would have already gotten the memo that it's not coming to PC day one.
Ooh,
Yeah,
wouldn't that
I don't,
be
I don't know
interesting?
I don't know anyone who's buying a console right now specifically for GTA 6.
There'll be a few
There
people,
might be some
but
people
yeah.
that upgrade, but most people already have.
And this is only like GTA 6 is only going to be on like the current gen. It's not going to be on last gen, right? So
Correct.
Yeah, no,
This is-
no PS4.
wouldn't it be interesting if GTA failed because nobody's buying consoles now?
There's plenty of consoles
Well,
to
I mean,
make it succeed,
I
but
could
we'll
make-
see.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good argument, but the PS6 is like PS5 is like 7 years old at this point. I think I think anyone that wants a PS5 already has one. Hell, I have a PS5.
I have a little unrelated question for you guys.
Yeah, go for it.
With how the console market or just tech market in general is going right now, do you think that PlayStation and Xbox should delay their next generation?
Yes, absolutely.
Because there's rumors of it coming in 27 or next year for like PlayStation, but there's also and for Xbox for the Helix, but it's also been talked about where they might be delaying. At least Sony might be delaying with the way that prices are going right now, and with RAM also increasing in price over the next 5 years. should PlayStation and Xbox delay their consoles instead of trying to release them with most likely inflated prices
Yes.
from when they
Absolutely, yes. I mean, we're hearing reports that RAM's going to double at the end of this year, as is. Like, well, how much is 32 gigs of RAM right now on like Amazon?
I don't want to look.
I'm gonna look for us. Someone's got to be brave.
It's not me. Are you gonna look for DDR5?
Yes, DDR5.
That's probably yeah.
So
I
this standard kit of Corsair oh, that's DDR4.
Jesus.
Oh, that's still expensive. Holy
That's
shit.
DDR4? Oh man.
Yeah, so I have this Corsair Vengeance DDR5, your most typical memory kit. I don't know up to 6. I don't know what the latency is here, but it's 424 right now. Imagine if that were say
Oh my God.
800 in 40 something. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my DDR5 32 gigabyte 2 sticks were in like the high 100 to low 200 range.
So we're talking about how the Steam machine may or may not be worth it now, but could you fathom a price increase for the Steam
If
machine?
Valve has to increase the price of the Steam machine again, which is something that is being speculated based on their wording, there's just no redemption.
Yeah, there's no hope for them.
They're already on the fence with the 1,050 price, but going higher than that, I don't.
I'm kind of thinking they price it maybe so high because then they expect it to go up another 100 to 2 to where they won't do that. I mean, they can have enough of a buffer.
Interesting. So when
Yeah.
when RAM prices go up, they don't have to change.
That's what I'm
features all
kind
the
of
time.
thinking they might have done. That's why they went so high with the Steam Deck and this. Like, I think they might be padding it out, but we'll see.
I mean, that's not a
I
bad
guess
thought.
that does make logical sense since like PlayStation and Xbox only increased by like 100, 150. Valve went way above.
Well, that's before this extra doubling of RAM, so to speak. Yeah, so I don't want to hear anything about the PlayStation 6. I don't want Mark Cerny to come up and talk about PlayStation 6. I don't want to hear anything about new NVIDIA GPUs, AMD GPUs. Heck, I don't want to hear about new processors.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about new products that they're trying to sell me when they're laying people off left and right all over the place.
Damn, that's a good one. Yes. So
I actually counter that. I don't think it's good that they're laying people off, but no, I know where you're going with that.
All right.
Wait, what?
No, never mind. I was.
yeah,
No, I don't think it's good they're laying people off either.
No, it's not. This is horrible.
yeah, this is horrible. So this. I think we've entered the great video game brain drain. Like, okay, so I'm sure when you were all growing up and you all played video games, you thought, "Wow, I want to work in the video games industry. I want to make games, right?" I'm sure we've all had that thought, right?
Yeah, I have made a game and it sucked.
Well-
the process of making it was terrible. It wasn't fun.
Yeah. Growing up is recognizing that the video games industry is a horrible place to work, and that if you know the skills to make video games, if you have the programming, art, yada yada yada, you're better off in literally any other industry.
Yeah.
No matter how much money the video game industry apparently makes.
Yeah. Well, it's because, there's literally no labor representation in the management of the industry. So,
Right, it's all a bunch of fucking C-suite execs that just have their incestuous cocktail parties.
I mean, you're not wrong. Like they gamble a lot with it, right? You can see what their plays are. They go for very, very high stakes plays because they have gold parachutes. They know that, like, hey, at the end of the day, they're still getting theirs. When did they just steadily release, kind of like what Nintendo's been doing? Like they have their IPs, they release for their IPs, they make good amount of money. All these other companies have IPs. They have studios that they could keep employed. I think we should just honestly tax like if they're going to do that type of stuff, like that type of labor violations, just tax them until they close anyways, and at least give the money to the people that are going to lose their jobs anyways.
Tax Nintendo?
Not necessarily Nintendo, but like but any companies that are just
the companies that are doing
that are grossly not treating their employees so poorly because they hire them on, they fire, they hire, they fire, they have these really toxic. It's not good for the economy. It's not good for these industries we usually have regulated in the past. Very toxic industries, and I would assume that this is very toxic mentally to employees. I've been laid off once. It sucks.
Oh
It
yeah.
really sucks.
So
See,
yeah.
here's the thing about like. So I'm so sorry. On the topic of what's being shown, the thing about Nintendo is always something that confuses me because their business decisions are always some of the weirdest and sometimes just terrible. But they treat their employees very, very well.
They're an outlier.
Like extremely.
EA
game
does.
industry.
EA is much the same way too. Honestly, I've heard how some like not necessarily like BioWare or some other subsidiaries, but like EA itself, I've heard is a great place to work.
EA
No.
treats no. So like EA has like historically treated some of their like first class developing teams well, but if you're anything but working at like their primary studios, especially if you're in like QA, they treat everyone like garbage there. As far as like from like I have a friend who lives in town here who used to work at like managing one of their QA teams, and he said that they got shit on constantly by the higher ups. So yeah,
Jeez.
I mean Nintendo is an
Nintendo, on the
outlier.
other hand, is like over here with everything, prices increasing. They're just increasing their workers' wages.
Yeah.
I think that's insane.
Yeah.
It's great.
Agreed. I actually, if they want to increase prices on stuff, and we see evidence, and we have like people that verify that, like, yeah, they're increasing the employees' pay, I'd actually be for it.
Well,
But-
for what it's worth, though, Nintendo runs their business more like a toy store than they do like a game store, like a real game store, like a real game, a toy company than a game company. They're primary.
That's their foundation.
Yeah, that's for foundation, but also like their primary profit margins come from merchandising, strong merchandising, like very strong. That's why.
Well, they have iconic IPs like
Yeah.
that are well known outside of the video game industry.
Yeah, I mean, like literally Sony and Microsoft both have the ability to do that. That same thing. They just
They just don't do it very well.
They don't do it very well. No. Like
They need to watch
I don't
Spaceballs.
know if
It's all about
either of them-
merchandising.
where the
I
real
don't know if either PlayStation or Xbox have any IPs that would be able to expand as far as Nintendo's do currently.
You didn't watch the Uncharted movie? I say sarcastically.
Hey, Uncharted is good, but it's hard to merchandise. Usually needed to be a little bit more cutesy, but they merchandised it. It does okay. Like the thing is,
You don't have
they
a
do it.
pop of Kratos? Come on, dude.
Man,
A lot of to be fair, Gardner, like to be fair, they do have a lot of merchandise for that type of stuff. A lot of people buy those things.
Yeah.
It's just not like Nintendo has the age gap that can just really anyone will buy one. It's very iconic amongst multiple generations.
Nintendo is like the Disney of the gaming industry. Like they have the definitive characters for this vertical that we're in. So like it makes sense.
Exactly.
PlayStation, like what they did, what did they have at one point? They had Spyro and Crash.
Jack and Daxter,
Jack and Daxter.
which if they would have kept on going with that, they could have.
Mainstream. Jack and Daxter. Like I remember when I was growing up, there were like Pizza Hut commercials with Crash Bandicoot. Now they they don't have. None of these companies have characters that break into the mainstream.
They didn't. They didn't really treat them like they honestly Jack and Daxter they made more adult like as I think their audience grew up, and that was probably a mistake. They should have really doubled down with the Mario style.
Ratchet and Clank could have been a good one.
It could have kept
a good one. I mean,
It's good.
It's a T-rated game, but like it's immature. Kids love that shit.
Everyone can play that. I think.
I mean, they made the newest Ratchet and Clank for PS5. They have the chance to do it.
Yeah.
Except they have Insomniac really working on Marvel stuff more than anything.
Right.
Fucking
Yeah, and even when we're only talking about PlayStation's like kind of cutesy characters. Meanwhile, Xbox, what do they have? They have Viva Pinata. I mean, like, or
bring back Viva.
Imagine if they
I
made
know, me too, but like,
man, imagine if they made a good Halo series.
yeah. Well, I mean, Halo is geared towards adults, and I mean, even their I can't think of a single like game that Xbox owns, and that they've actually made a game for that's like aimed at kids and that has broken into the mainstream.
No,
Forza.
Xbox has always been more of a for adults or more mature.
And speaking, and that's a good segue. Xbox's sales figures are the lowest they've ever been right now.
Yes.
And it's like, if you're not targeting kids and you're only targeting adults, then you have a dwindling market potential. So I don't know.
It's true, but PlayStation being that low as well is insane too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it all makes sense with the current market.
Yeah.
you
I
know,
mean,
but it's still pretty.
since
nuts.
the 2000s is crazy. They were still selling the PlayStation 1 during the 2000s.
Yeah. In 2000
In
specifically.
2000 specifically, yes.
That's real bad.
And
I mean, the Switch 2 is still crushing it.
oh yeah, it's
good for
I mean,
them.
Is it-
part of
Are they crushing, or they're just doing like a little better? From my understanding, they're not like
It's the
that
second
much.
fastest selling console according to Forbes. Behind.
Though that's after the Switch 1. But yeah,
it's a 38%. It's up 38% compared to last year, which is
This
Right.
specifically says the Switch 2.
In this market, that's pretty damn good.
The
Yeah.
Switch 2 still is the second fastest selling console ever behind the Game Boy Advance. And
Oh,
it's up
interesting.
38% compared to May 2025.
so.
Again, Nintendo targets kids and makes games for all ages. That is the key to this segment. If you want to sell stuff, you have to sell to children. Like, targeting kids targeting adults just really doesn't make a
targeting adults has been a good market move in the past. For games, it's kind of weird, but like because they have the money, adults do. I think the problem we're seeing with all this is the K-shaped economy. It's our economy is royally fucked right now.
Oh yeah.
And that's what this is. Like, this is what we're seeing. We had COVID happened, shrinkflation, then you had also just inflation, and then you had greedflation. You have all these things that companies took advantage of, and then on top of that, they're not making more RAM fab. Like, they're not able to fab more RAM, like having more facilities for that. We're in a very weird economy where it looks like they really don't care about people that would be buying this type of stuff.
Yeah, not to mention Sony. I didn't put this in the document, but Sony mentioned that they want to continue making live service games to quote.
Yeah.
What's the word that Herman Holst used? It was like revitalizing the market or some shit like that. I don't remember the exact.
To double down is what they're doing. Double down their bet because they're so stupid.
And they also ended support for Destiny 2, and they're not greenlighting a Destiny 3. They're saying they want to make more live service games, but they killed like probably the one success. Well, not one successful, but like one of their most successful live services that they bought from Bungie.
You the thing is, once you have a live service that works, the IP, you got to keep it because creating a new one is nearly impossible nowadays. No one goes into new IPs for live services because they're so
did you guys watch the live stream for the Sony showcase during the Summer Games Fest week? No. You know what chat was full of? The live chat was full of Destiny 3. They want Destiny 3. They really like on top of the layoffs from Bungie, they laid off like literally half of the studio. Mm-hmm. They
really need to if they want to double down on live service, Destiny 3 is going to be their best bet.
Well, who the fuck's going to make Destiny 3? They laid off like half of the team, which includes a lot of the people. They laid off the raid and dungeon teams, which is like arguably the most important. They laid off the like weapons guys. Like, who the fuck's left?
They could rehire. You know,
they could have saved the trouble and not fucking fired.
They could. I agree, but like
also the idea of contractors,
dude. I mean,
support studios helping out more.
I don't know, like I don't know. Yeah. This just rubs me the wrong way. It's a real ship of Theseus sort of deal.
Dude, It's really crazy. Like James, you were talking about the K-shaped economy, and the people on the upswing, the very small percentage of people that are increasing their net worth or whatever, they're the ones who are going to be able to buy the 60, 70, 80, 90, $100 game. Everyone else is going to be stuck playing the live service game that nickels and dimes the poors. Right? That's why Sony is talking about this, right?
It
And
looks like you
meanwhile,
died.
right?
Pay $100 or pay like $2 to resurrect.
Yeah, insert another quarter to play again. And meanwhile, Sony is now revoking people's purchases where they actually, they bought something through the Sony store, the PlayStation store, and suddenly you don't actually own it. Of course,
You never
You
did.
never,
you never
did.
That's the thing. It's all digital. You own licenses.
Long-term
Licenses can
rental.
always be revoked.
So I believe this is some sort of European agreement because I mean I've never heard of Studio Canal before.
Yeah.
As it turns out, they're like based in France. Shout outs to all my all the French watchers here, but like, yeah, this sucks. Sony is straight up deleting them. Like, you know who wouldn't delete them even if they delist them? Valve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. They would delist, but they wouldn't get rid of the licenses. Well, I think that's more up to the publishers.
I mean, really, that
Well,
it also depends.
They can revoke
If
it.
Sony put in the contract initially that once someone's bought it, they have the license indefinitely, even if we delist it, but Sony doesn't give a shit about their customers. That's the thing.
That's the only way to do this. You have to make it to where even the publisher's like, no, we want to pull this. They can't do it. I'm sorry. Once you sell a copy to someone, you can maybe refund them,
Yeah.
but that's about as far as you can go. You can't just, that's called stealing in my case,
Yeah.
in my
It is
opinion.
theft. I believe it is theft. And like I just
Oh,
looked
wow,
here.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day is part of that list.
Oh wow.
Sorry, I just thought that was kind of nutsing. Like, you said it was like a European studio, and I'm like, wait, there's Terminator 2.
Yeah.
What?
I think they're like a distributor, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely.
It's
I'm
a
not entirely
yeah.
sure because the website I linked to was like the British version of PlayStation,
Mhm.
and I could.
Oh, so maybe it's just a UK.
I mean, it
only.
might be
yeah.
it might be UK, Europe. I don't know for certain. What I do know is this shit sucks no matter what region you're in.
Yeah. I just looked at this. I just opened up my DevTools and counted the number of rows in this table. 551 titles are being delisted. That's 551 thefts multiplied by the number of people who bought any one of these titles. This is actual what I believe to be criminal behavior, and it should not. Nobody should be able to do this. It's insane.
To be
Well, that's the unfortunate reality of just the buying stuff digitally. You know, a lot of times, especially through DRMs, you're not owning the game. You're owning a license to play the game. In this case, you're owning a license to watch.
So this is Sony's response. Well, this is Sony sending an email to someone. Dear username, as of 1 September 2026, European date formatting, due to our current content licensing arrangements, you will no longer be able to watch any of your previously purchased Studio Canal content, and the content will be removed from your video library. Click here for a full list of affected titles that will be no longer supported. Thank you, PlayStation Store. Play has no limits, except for Studio Canal.
I see some limits.
they should have saved face. It's just like we're going to give you discount or
A refund.
refunds and stuff like that. This is
Right, but
Reimbursing would be the right thing.
they
to do.
can't do that though, because then it's just a long, like, what would be the point of selling these suckers something that they could revoke if they had to give them a refund? I mean, like,
well,
this is by design scam behavior. Like, if they can reject your purchase, then you didn't purchase anything, and they
Keep your money.
They keep your money.
the problem is
Thanks for playing, sucker. That's what
you
they're
got to
doing.
play the line just right, or else you're going to have essentially government come into play. And in Europe, maybe because consumer protections needs to come in and say, hey, you can't really rent out digital content like this. Like we need consumer protections on this level of like, if you're selling it, let's say $50, this game, they have to have access to that game the rest of their lives essentially, or something. Oh, something along those lines of like, we can't play like this is ridiculous.
So there's no mention of whose fault this was, whether it's Sony's fault or Studio Canal's.
It's not Sony's fault for the content being pulled.
Well-
It's the licensing agreement expired.
Right. So it sounds like Studio Canal is just a bunch of greedy fucks, but it could also be Sony too.
I think so. I think the nail was hit on the head earlier. Sony should bake it into their contract that if someone purchases, a movie, let's say, that it could be delisted, but whoever's purchased it, it stays in their library. Similar to what we've seen with Valve, where games will be delisted, but you bought the game,
Yeah.
and the license will stay, and you can continue to download and play it because you purchased it already. That is what PlayStation or Sony should be doing.
Yeah, especially
Agreed.
given the fact that Sony has done this multiple times already with
They have,
Discovery
yeah.
and a bunch of other video content that's been on their platform. This has happened before. The fact that they haven't done anything to address it means that this is Sony's fault.
Yeah.
So, for those of you listening, wondering why people made such a big fuss about GTA 6 not having a physical copy, with no plans of there being a physical copy, this is why.
Yep.
Not saying that Rockstar will revoke your copy of GTA 6 or whatever, but like, it's always within the realm of possibility.
but what
If you get it
yeah.
on PlayStation, just know if it's for whatever reason gets revoked, you might be shut out of luck.
Dude, Take-Two is such an unscrupulous company that give like GTA 6 like 2 or 3 years to cook, and then they're going to do this. They're going to shut down GTA 5 completely, and they might even revoke your license to play GTA 5. Like, genuinely, these are such greedy fucks.
If you're on PlayStation, if you have GTA 5 on PC, you're safe.
Yeah, like even if they revoke your Steam key for GTA 6, 5, or whatever, I mean, it's on PC. It's already preserved by nature of it being on PC. So to
Don't
speak.
be so
That's
sure,
also
man.
true.
Dude, they have such deep DRM in that shit, even the Steam version, they could just arbitrarily shut it down.
I don't think they would,
Well-
though. At least not the PC version.
Okay. You
All
guys
I
are
gotta
far
say-
more trusting than I am.
That is,
Yeah.
That is fair.
It's less about that and more about, like, let's look at GTA 4. I mean, we can still play that. They haven't delisted or done anything to that one. Yeah, they don't have GTA Online, but it just doesn't seem like something that...
It doesn't seem like it. That doesn't matter though. There's so many different parties in this. Like, I'm not trying to like dismiss what you said, but it's just there's so many parties. Like, if one of let's say, like with Studio Canal, that they're the problem. I think with getting it delisted. It's not necessarily PlayStation. They could have stronger, essentially,
BRB.
rules, but at the end of the day, I think PlayStation just kind of screwed their image with this. Why would you buy a video at this point? Like, for sure, don't buy any videos. I wouldn't even go as far as renting a video on PlayStation. Just get away from PlayStation for anything video. But on top of that, this has made me more skeptical to buy anything that's digital on PlayStation from period. I'd be getting PlayStation physical games. Like, that's the only way to fight this.
Has there been any case where a game has been revoked like this?
Cyberpunk 2077, technically. They did refunds,
Was it
but the way they did refunds was like you had to request it, from my understanding.
Didn't they do something?
Yeah, but if you didn't refund it, was the game still in your library?
I'm trying to remember if they was or not. They probably was.
I don't remember reading about anything saying it was completely removed from libraries. I know it was delisted from the store,
But
but I don't remember
why
anything
trust
about it being
PlayStation on this?
removed.
Why trust them if this is going to happen? That's my point. Is like, why trust them?
Well,
I
agree with you.
wasn't Concord
I agree with
rev-
you that this shows their mentality.
wasn't Concord
but I
revoked
just
from
don't
people's
remember it
PlayStation
happening to a
library?
game.
Yeah, but they also offered a full refund for the game too.
Okay,
That's
but
different.
Yeah, okay,
What if I like Concord and I want to keep it?
yeah.
Oh,
like
well,
it was a
fuck you, James.
forced
That's
refund. Like you didn't have a choice.
Yeah, that one.
I don't know. I just don't
but-
trust Sony. and I don't trust Sony because of this kind of thing that's happened multiple times. I don't trust Sony because of the like how many times their online services have been hacked, have gone down, and they've leaked data about customers. Sony is just an untrustworthy company. Also, they make the worst movies imaginable.
I trust their audio gear.
Brutal.
Sony
Jesus.
has good audio and camera gear.
They do, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I
who
have a
can
Sony
you-
camera.
But who can you trust in this industry? Can you trust Micron?
No.
No.
That was a great transition.
That was a really easy question to answer.
Yeah.
So, you guys heard about the 5 years of the Rampocalypse?
Oh
I
boy.
have now.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So Micron has signed 16 strategic consumer agreements, which includes a floor price. Basically locking in historically high memory prices for 5 years. It'll be 2031 before RAM starts to make sense again. We live like no one really talked about the RAM monopoly the RAM oligopoly that we've had because RAM just didn't really cost that much. I mean, no.
Until recently, RAM was normally well.
Yeah, we had a pretty solid RAM industry. I mean, RAM was affordable.
Yeah.
Devices were affordable. We didn't have
Everything was more affordable.
Micron still sold things to consumers through the Crucial brand, which was affordable. Now things are not affordable. Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron have made deals with all the AI hyperscalers. Imagine this tier list here. Imagine if like your hyperscalers, data centers, Nvidia were like A tiers, Valve would be like an F tier in that in the priority of like custom priority. No, well actually, Valve would be like D tier, F would be like consumers, aka us.
Yeah, I don't even know if we're on that scale.
Feels like it.
Yeah, we're probably like Z.
Well, yeah, that's true. We're Z.
We're all the way down now.
Apparently, even like G-Skill, like a company that almost exclusively makes memory modules, have a hard time sourcing memory from these companies, which is insane to me, since that's literally all G-Skill does.
Honestly, I think this is very anti-competitive behavior, and I think we should really try to usually if you have a functioning government. I know that a lot of this is outside of the US at times, but we're a huge consumer, we're in big control of this. What we would do is we would then incentivize companies through what is it just money incentives to say, hey, if you construct a memory fab facility, we will reimburse you a big chunk so you don't take on that risk, because we need it. Everything relies on RAM these days for the most part. That's the smart way to do it. We don't have a functioning government to do that right now, unfortunately. So we're just like really, really screwed right now.
So,
Yep.
so now my question though is, not to be all China save us, but will China save us?
No.
They could, if they wanted to, they could come in and it would really hurt. It would be a good strategic side for them to get into, but we'll see.
Oh yeah,
The less technology in consumer hands, the better it is for every government that wants surveillance and control.
Yeah, but they
is
still
true.
have to pay for the RAM too.
But if they were to say flood the market with cheap Chinese memory that's functional and supplied to everyone, then that would destabilize the Western RAM economy.
Yeah.
But they're
It would
profiting
been-
from this too, man. Like they
Well, I mean,
profit-
they're profiting too. They're profiting too, but like, if they really wanted to hurt America, that's probably what they would do. Economic
That would
warfare,
most
so to
likely-
speak.
That would work.
Not saying that we would support or even condone such a Chinese activity, but
I don't
that's
know.
probably what China would do if they wanted to really hurt America. Not to be all political and stuff. Shit.
I don't know.
No.
Dude, I don't know. This is it all just seems like there could be RICO charges for this kind of thing. Like this seems like deeply conspiratorial in so many ways, and I don't like thinking like that because it makes me feel crazy. Like,
Yeah.
am I nuts for thinking like this seems completely artificial and in no way reflective of actual demand? That's how it
Weren't they
feels to me.
weren't they saying like 6 months ago, like, well, there's the demand's going to reduce down in a few years. That's why we would want to create additional facilities. And now, like, it's looking
Yeah.
like no, they locked it in for like forever. They just lied to us. This is crazy. That like,
Well,
and
yeah.
we're just going to eat it. I guess I don't know. We'll see. I think honestly, this is going to essentially destroy a lot of the industries we like, in the sense of we just
Well,
won't
like
have nice things.
Micron, like yeah, like if you look at Micron stock from last year, it was like 100 or something per share. Now it's like 1,000 something. It went up a whole order of magnitude. It's no wonder they want to keep the Rampocalypse going for another, what was it, 5 years? Heck,
All it takes. Sorry, all it takes is one competitor to come in, and it could wreck them.
that's
That's the
yeah,
thing. Usually, that's how it works.
yeah. But RAM technology is so well gate kept. Heck, even the government tried to. I think we talked about this in the bonus episode last week, so yeah, freebie. But if you recall, one of the EUV machines they use for making HBM memory and all sorts of memory got smuggled over to China. And at this point, now that's in China, they basically have the technology and they can reverse engineer all of that shit.
Yeah, but we have laws against monopolies and monopolistic behavior where you just
In
split them up or you
theory,
tax them heavy. Not in theory. We have them. There's no theory.
no, no,
It's
no, no, no,
you
no.
The
have to
enforcement is the theory.
you have to have enforcement. Sorry, I don't mean to go so hard on the theory. It's just like I want it.
Versus
Well, the
enforcement.
thing with laws though is that it's just a bunch of words on paper unless it's enforced, and they didn't even enforce that with fucking Google. Like, what was it, a few months ago we
Yeah,
talked about
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
There's no
yeah.
like if it's not enforced, then it's
Well,
basically not a law.
if you download a game from Pirate Bay, they'll enforce that. But like potentially. But if they're still like if they're taking stuff from you, they're not going to enforce it. If they're going to be overcharging in a very monopolistic way, that pretty much destroys the concept of what capitalism is. Then
Well, all you have to do is be
they get away with it.
Facebook or Nvidia, and you're allowed to pirate stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the point.
Obviously,
Like
If you have
they can
money,
get
the
away
law's
with
going to
all of
find
it.
you.
We can't.
Yeah.
I hate
I've,
that.
like, guys, we're getting a little political here, and people on
Bonus.
YouTube and YouTube itself don't like politics. So if you guys are interested in continuing this conversation or how we can actually remedy this problem by voting with our wallet, which I have a theory on how we can do that, head over to the bonus episode because we're going to be talking about a bunch of really cool stuff over there. I think that probably
Nice.
wraps up this episode. Noah, thank you for joining us. It's been a delight as always.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, and James
thanks.
Hitech as well. Thank you so much. Everyone out there who's watching and listening, make sure you get subscribed. You can subscribe to our audio feed, our YouTube channel. We love you guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Later. Peace.
later.
See ya.
See ya.